Hello.
Hello, man. How are you?
I'm good. Are you?
Yeah, everything's fine. Thank you very much for your time, man. It's great to have you here.
No worries, no worries. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, well, let's start with this. Could we?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Well, in the first place, we used to ask the musician to introduce themselves to our audience, but the way you would like to be introduced. How should I say if I must introduce you to the people?
Well, I don't know. You can decide. I mean, I am who I am, and you know who I am, and I know who I am. So, yeah. But I'm Jan Rechberger. I'm the drummer of Amorphis. So I think that's a proper introduction, I guess.
It's enough, of course.
Yeah, it has to. It has to be right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, last year you released the lead one. I'm talking about the last album, but anyway, it was recorded 2021, I guess, with no people in front.
Oh, you're talking about the live record.
The live record, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of weird, of course, because that was the COVID pandemic era of time, so
Hmm.
we couldn't do like normal, proper live shows, but we still wanted to do a live record. So yeah, of course, that was a kind of a weird
Hmm.
occasion for us to play somewhere in a club with no audience, only like
Uh-huh.
cameras and stuff. So it was kind of weird, but it was a little bit similar to the thing of like streams. A lot of bands did
Hmm.
streaming, and we also did a stream when the COVID was around. And I think this was kind of similar to the streaming, but with the only difference, of course, that it was recorded.
Hmm.
So,
Of
but
course.
I think it came out really nice, and I think it's a good album, and it really represents of like Amorphis live sound and stuff. So, yeah, it was nice project to do, and we also filmed and recorded Tales.
Hmm.
So that's coming up later.
Hmm.
So, so we did two live albums in the same sort of session. So,
Uh-huh. Well, and talking about the audience, um, I guess it must be different things. I mean, playing in a small venue with a small amount of people, and playing, I don't know, some big arena. Uh, what do you prefer?
well, I kind of prefer club shows myself, but of course I like big festivals too. And for me, it's not a lot of difference. I mean, the only difference, of course, is the setup and big stage and everything, and perhaps the sound. But for me, like show is a show, and I don't
Hmm.
really. It doesn't affect me. I mean, you have to perform at your best every time, no matter how many people. If there's 3 people or 3,000 or 30,000, it doesn't really matter. You have to do what you do anyway. So in that sense, it's no different to me. Of course, sometimes like a nice you know club show with sold out and everything, you can get certain kind of vibe and certain kind of atmosphere, of course,
Hmm.
that you perhaps cannot have in a big festival setup or in some show with less people, of course. But yeah, and of course, I mean, I would be lying if of course I like shows with a lot of people. that's not that's not the issue, but I mean, you still have to treat it the same way than any other situation, from my perspective, at least. Yeah.
Of course, and well, Amorphis is a band that has I don't know a lot of classic songs. We could say. How hard is it to choose them for the set list for the live?
This is like what everybody keeps asking at all times, and this is it's a good question because it's not easy, and because we are 6 members in the band and everybody is having an opinion.
Uh-huh.
But usually we come up with pretty good solution between the guys, and like what we should play and why. And obviously, if there's a new record, the set list maybe a little bit
Mm-hmm.
towards to the new songs, and because you want to promote the new record and stuff like that. But it's usually quite a nice collection of band's history, and of course it's 14 albums, and it's impossible to
Yeah.
choose everything that I would like to play or everything that people would want to hear, or whatever. But it's a compromise every time.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be. Yeah.
You know, that's a personal opinion. I guess I think that when a band choose songs from the new album, we could say, for the set list, it means you're in good shape still, because the old band maybe they focus the set list on the very old songs, and not the new ones. You're still
Well,
in good shape to do this.
Well, of course, you have to trust your new material. I mean, I would not want to be in a band if I would not feel confident with the new material.
Uh-huh.
What would be the point even making music if we just play old songs? you know. So and I think our new stuff is still fairly strong material, and we enjoy making music, and it's an adventure every time. So and we feel very confident on the new material, and we know it's good stuff, and we know that the fans like it. So why not? So of course we also play old songs, and it's a nice package of the band's history and the band's current sort of state, I guess.
There's something that's not so usual, I guess. Amorphis is a band that is always, every album is like a one step forward. And the band has passed through very important changes, and always you were better, including you. You were out, and then you came back, and the band is always getting better. I think that's not so usual, and I guess that's not so easy to do.
Yeah, maybe not, but I think, yeah, for us it's nice because we have all the original members back in the band.
Now, yeah.
So now, and plus Santeri and Tommy and the vocals, but and so it's a nice chemistry in the band. It's a nice vibe, and we enjoy each other's company, and we enjoy working together, and so I think that affects a lot of that sort of feeling and that atmosphere making new music.
Mhm.
And it's, for us it's a challenge every time, but we're not thinking about it too much of beating the last record, or if we made a strong record and make a new one that has to be better than the previous one, or it has to be similar or different, or we don't really think about things like that. Just let the music come, and
Mhm.
then maybe analyze when you're in the finish line. that how did we do, but of course we're taking composing and making music quite seriously, that it is our life's work, and of course we try to put our best effort every time, I guess.
I didn't expect that answer, because I thought that maybe making a very, very good album, it's a pressure when you have to face a new one. That's not the case with you.
No, honestly it's not. I mean, obviously, I mean, well, I think pressure is of course we are aware that the last album's been very successful, and it's been very popular and all that, and or strong in some terms or whatever. But I mean, if you start thinking about that too much, then I think you're on the wrong path, because I mean, in terms of keeping things fresh, you have to move on and not to think about the past too much. So maybe that's our recipe for, like, maybe perhaps making strong albums after another, because we don't really think about it too much, I
Mhm.
guess.
And are you thinking in new material, new recordings? in the close future?
Yeah, we are. We still have some touring with Halo going on, like South America, and now some festivals and some US dates. And after that, probably I can't give you any details, but let's say like maybe November, December, January 25 is perhaps we're going to the studio to record new material. And the album probably should came out somewhere 2025, I guess.
Yeah,
But
not too far.
That's just like an estimate.
Well, yeah. And how is it for you touring? Do you like touring? Do you enjoy? I'm talking about the body. Sometimes it must be exhausting to be touring and traveling all the time.
Well, yeah, it is, but not. Yeah, we are. Most of us have families and everything. So, but my kids are quite old already, and it used to be harder, of course, when the kids were small, and but nowadays they're already teenagers and they don't really want me around anyway. so yeah, it's easier, but and of course it's tough sometimes, but and we've done a lot of touring. Past 3 records, especially, and but I mean, I like playing live, and I think music is being made to play live. I mean, you make records to play live, in my opinion, and majority of the income nowadays for musicians comes from playing live. And I like to go to new places, and I like to travel. I mean, I don't necessarily enjoy sitting in an airplane, and it's not that. But or airports or waiting or whatever, but yeah, I like touring, and I like playing shows. I like meeting new people, colleagues and fans and everybody. So yeah, I really enjoy it.
Of course,
still today. Believe it or not. Yeah.
The main incomes come from playing live today. I remember when I don't know the year, the Beatles stopped playing live, and they just lived, or their income were coming from selling albums, records, vinyls, and that time. It's something impossible today.
Well, it is impossible unless you stream like 2 billion times and make some money, but we don't have that sort of number, so it's not possible. And and it's difficult. Like back in the days, if we would sell as many albums as we stream, music these days, we make a lot of money, but it's not how it is these days. So
yeah,
you have to take it to the tour, and you have to play live to make it.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah. But how important?
I don't complain. I love it. So that works for me.
Yeah. It's useless to complain. That's the way it is. Yeah. It's the way it is.
That's the way it is, right?
Yeah. And how important is it, the production, the studio production for the music today?
Well, it's very important, of course. I mean, you have to hire a good producer, and I mean, well, production is production and live is live. It's two different separate things. But yeah, I mean, these days production is very important, and because I mean, it needs to sound, like you mean it, and there's so much competition. There's so much records coming out, and your production has to be top notch to deliver the people like the best possible quality, I think. So for sure, it's important, and that of course. Depends on the music styles too, because some styles does not require perhaps that deep production, and and some, but for us, yeah, I think it's the production is very important, and we take a serious time to think about it, and always have like a pre-production too, and there's certain phases of making a record with the production, so yeah, it's important. For sure.
And Jan, how do you know how to stop the production?
Well, I don't know. Well, I'm a producer myself. I also produce bands and stuff. So it's, well, I mean, somebody wisely sometimes said that albums they're never ready. They just
Uh-huh.
get released.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it is. You have to accept the fact that at some point you have to let go. That
Mhm.
it is good enough, and it's everything is recorded, everything is as planned, and the mix sounds good and stuff like that. So then it's ready, and then you have to let it go,
Uh-huh.
out to the world, and then think about the next one.
Yeah, somebody talking about the pictures, the paintings, used to say that a masterpiece is never over. You just leave it.
Yeah. It's the same thing. Yeah, you have to let go at some point. Otherwise, it would do it forever. And
Uh-huh.
that's like,
Well,
it's not what I want to do. No.
people used to have fun or make fun from the talking about musicians. For example, nobody hears the bass. Uh, that's a common joke. And talking about drummers, people used to say that they're the we could say the less musician in the band. Something like, I don't know if you remember the Muppet Show. This guy who
Animal.
played
Yeah.
drummer, Animal.
Animal. Yeah.
Well, that's a kind of general joke, but I don't know if it's true. I don't think so. But anyway, I think the drummers and some bass players too, talking about metal, used to be the musicians who knows or who listens to different musical genres far beyond heavy metal. Is it your case?
It's my case. Yeah, I listen to all kinds of music. I don't care about genres, or it's
Hmm.
boring. I I like music, and I like in general. I don't really care about the style, and that way you can get most influence, and you can get inspired of from other things than
Uh-huh.
metal, and maybe have something from this and something from that, and put it in your craft. And yeah, I think it's my life would be boring if I would be only into metal music. Not that
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with metal, but I mean, for me, it's like I can't. I have to listen to other music too. Otherwise, I would go nuts, real quick. so, so, uh, so yeah, and and most of us also, it's the same. Everybody is just a different kind of music. Everybody plays other instruments too, and everybody has a strong musical backgrounds and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, to be an all-around musician, I think it's very important to listen to different music and different styles, and just take everything you can from what's out there.
Okay. Well, yeah, you'll be playing in Uruguay very, very soon. Could you please invite Uruguayan people to go to see? And why should they go to attend to do Amorphis show?
I mean, like, why? Or
Yeah, tell them, invite them
I mean,
and tell
yeah,
them
well,
why.
it's gonna be a great show if you're into Amorphis, and if you're into heavy metal. We're gonna play a nice set of songs from the old records and from the new records, and it's gonna be a blast. So be there.
Thank you very
Okay.
much, man. We wish you all the best.
All
Real
right, you
pleasure.
too, man. Thanks for having me. Cheers. All
Goodbye,
right,
goodbye.
bye.
Thank you.